Are New Year's resolutions even worth it? My name is Hunter, and welcome back to the Hunter Vents channel. With the new year just beginning, I've been thinking a lot about New Year's resolutions. Uh, since I was a kid, I've never really been the type to start a New Year's resolution or, really have too many long-term goals in general. I've always been the type to live my life, one step at a time. Because at any moment during the year or just during your life in general, things could change. Maybe at some point you get a new job or something comes up, maybe some bad health or a family member dies or, anything could happen and all of a sudden all your goals are just out the window. Uh, so that's always been my philosophy on New Year's resolutions and long-term goals in general. Just the other day, I was reading a study that said about 90% of people don't succeed with their New Year's resolutions. And even worse, only about 25% even make it past the first month. And after reading that, I've been kind of wondering, is it even worth it to make a New Year's resolution? Because the odds say no. Last year at this time, I set a goal for myself to make myself a little healthier. I wanted to quit drinking. I wanted to stop eating junk food. I wanted to start going to the gym again. And it was going well for the first few months. And about 3 months in, I started falling off the wagon. And by the end of April, I was just completely back to my old self again, eating junk food more often. And I picked drinking up a little bit. Uh, Stopped going to the gym quite as much. But I was making so much progress. And to this day, I still wonder uh, why I even stopped doing all that stuff because it felt really good and I was doing really good in life. And, I don't really know why things didn't really work out. But even though I didn't succeed last year, I still gave myself some New Year's resolutions this year because with all the things that I have going on, I've got 3 YouTube channels now, including this one. We've got a steady growing Twitch channel. Everything's been going really well with that over the past 6 months, so I have to keep that going, or I might lose out on all that as well. Uh, but all the responsibilities I have, even outside of content creation, can keep me from succeeding. So I decided I was gonna make some New Year's resolutions this year. But the question I have is, how do I make sure that I don't do what I did last year and fall off the wagon less than halfway through the year? Thinking about this brought me back to a time when I was in high school. It was the beginning of the school year, and I had an assignment to come up with some goals for my semester. And the one rule was that our goals had to be SMART goals. And no, I'm not saying our goals had to be intelligent. That's not at all what I'm saying. SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Now, you're all wondering, what does that even mean? Some of you have probably heard of this acronym before, but those who haven't, I'm sure you're a bit confused. So let me explain. Setting a specific goal basically just means you can't say, "Oh, I just want to be a better person this year." That's not specific at all. There's no there's no sort of boundary for what to pinpoint any of your effort into. Uh, for example, 3 of my goals this year were specifically based on YouTube performance. That's something I can pinpoint exactly where I need to put my focus in, and I can look back and say, okay, maybe I need to lock in a little bit more, but I know exactly where I have to look in order to achieve these goals. Making your goal measurable is also very important because it makes it easier to track just how well, or maybe not so well, you're doing. Seeing yourself make progress can really motivate you to keep going and keep yourself from falling off that wagon and end up like the 90% of other people who maybe didn't achieve their goals this year. Uh, Saying I want to eat less junk food in 2026 is fine and all dandy, but being specific about exactly how much you want to cut out or how much you're allowing yourself to have is a lot easier to measure. Having an unachievable goal is why I think most people fail their New Year's resolutions. Shooting for the stars is great and all, but I think that's how most people fall off the wagon. Let's all be honest here. Are you really going to go an entire year without eating pizza? I didn't think so. Start with something small this year, like, maybe limiting yourself to a few cheat meals on the weekends. And then maybe next year, you can start cutting it back more and more until eventually you get to where you want to be in the end. Relevant goals have a purpose. Ask yourself exactly why you want to do this. Maybe you want to lose some weight or be a healthier person. Maybe it's just in support of another family member, or maybe you just want to prove yourself that you can do it. Just make sure whatever the reason is, your goal is worth doing. Lastly, your goal's got to be time bound. Now, with New Year's resolutions, they're all usually to be done by the end of the year. But let's say you get to the end of the year and maybe you are not quite where you want to be, but you're still making good progress. I think at that point it might be wise to start thinking about extending your goal to a more reasonable time period to make sure you can finish what you've started. With all that being said, I think that's how you make a SMART goal. If you made it this far into the video, I really hope this helps you in some way, making your goals for this year. If you already set a goal for yourself, maybe this made you think a little bit more about it. But leave your SMART goals down in the comments below, and you can come back to this a year from now and hopefully be proud of yourself for making it to the end of the year and accomplishing everything you wanted to accomplish. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys. One of my goals for the year was to upload weekly on this channel, so I guess I'll catch you next week. Make sure you like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.